Hold on, I have to burp.
I do those weird jumpy things that all the other people do.
Yeah, that's literally what they do, because they're legit like me. That's why, because they're like, I don't fucking like that. Why did I say that? So as you can see, I did my eyebrows off camera, and I am gay, and I fucking hate this shit. So as you can see, Anthony's staring at me. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Staring at that water across the room.
Yeah, you're standing. You're making me anxious.
Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Adriana, and today I am going to show you how I got this look. I was just going for a brown smoky eye with some shimmer and a nice bold lip. Something glam, something fun, something you can wear anywhere. Go to the grocery store with your kids, go to a concert, go out with your mom, go to the club, do whatever you want to do in this look, because you can wear it anywhere. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, then please continue watching. Okay, so as you can see, I did my eyebrows off of camera because I wanted to do a really detailed tutorial on how I do my brows, just because it's really time consuming and I just don't want my eyebrows to take up this whole video. So as of right now, I'm just gonna tell you how, before primer, I like to prep my skin. I like to moisturize. Usually I do a toner, a serum, and then a moisturizer. Yeah, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my primer. And the primer that I'm gonna be going in with today is the e.l.f. Blemish Control Primer. It's a nice primer. It has salicylic acid in it, so, you know, that's good for acne. I was hoping it was gonna have a green tint, but it doesn't. You know, green tint, anything with a green tint, it's good to color correct, so. After you prime, I go in with foundation. And the foundation that I'm going in with today is my absolute favorite foundation in the whole world. It's Estee Lauder Double Wear. And this is great for oily skin because it's extremely long wearing. I don't want to say it's the mattest finish, but it is a matte finish. It does have a matte finish. And, you know, your makeup is going to last all day, even if you do have oily skin. Now, something that I would recommend if you don't have oily skin and if you have extremely dry skin, I would definitely recommend the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation. You know, that's also long wearing, but it's extremely hydrating. So on days like when I am feeling a little bit dry, I'll use that foundation, and, you know, it still does last a really long time. It's a great foundation to use. I usually start off just by putting a little bit on the back of my hand. Don't pour the whole thing like I just did. That was my mistake. You can take any beauty sponge, but this is the Wet n Wild sponge, which is extremely affordable, and it's a lot softer, so I guess you could say it would absorb a lot more of the foundation, but, you know, I don't mind that. So how I like to start my foundation is I like to start from out going in, just because I don't like a lot of product in my T-zone, because that's how you're gonna make yourself look really cakey. So, you know, you just take your sponge and you just bounce it lightly. You don't want to apply too much pressure. The more pressure you put, the less coverage you're gonna get. Also, don't forget to put foundation on your neck, okay? Because even if you think you have the right color match, you know, just to be safe, undertones are always different. You don't want anybody to tell the difference or clock you or anything. So just, you know, try to get the ears too, just a little bit. I'm gonna try and be as unclockable as possible.
Unclockable as possible.
Are you laughing at unclockable as possible? Fucking say it, bitch.
I say that every video.
Okay. After you get your foundation nice and blended the way that you like it, next step is you're gonna want to go in with some concealer. And today I went to Ulta, and you know, there was like this huge thing about the Boing concealer. So, you know, I want to try it. You know, I am a Tarte Shape Tape fan, and I heard, you know, like it's similar in consistency and stuff like that. So I'm excited to try it. I want to read to you guys the claims. It says, cover more, cakeless, this full coverage liquid concealer hides it all. From dark under eye circles to blemishes and discoloration. Yet it feels lightweight and doesn't cake or crack. Go in, try it out. Okay, so the applicator, it's not as cushiony as the Tarte Shape Tape, and like you could kind of feel like it has like a grip going in and out, so that's kind of weird. So less product definitely comes out, so I could see it being less messy, you know, because like opening up my Tarte Shape Tape, like it literally goes everywhere when I open it up. Like you could see all of that concealer. It does get very messy, and like a lot of product comes out, so you know, I like that. That blended out very easily. I like that. It does feel more lightweight, for sure, than the Tarte Shape Tape, 100%. It's a lot more lightweight. It doesn't feel as heavy, or like, I mean, I guess it's like the same thickness, but it doesn't feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel that way under your eye. It's just not as light as I want it to be, because I like to use a lighter concealer just to brighten my under eye, just for like dimension and contour. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the shade Medium Honey. Now I'm just gonna highlight the rest of my face. I'm gonna use this 16-hour e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And this is in the shade Tan Walnut. This is a lot lighter. I'm just letting you guys know. Like it's good to go with something very light and you use minimally just to highlight the T-zone of your face. All right, then you can also put some over here. After all that's blended out to your liking, you're gonna wanna take some powder. Now, a lot of people like to use Laura Mercier powder, which is, it's very nice, you know, it's pricey, obviously. I've just always loved Airspun powder. It's more affordable. It comes in a variety of shades. The smell is strong. A lot of people, you know, have an issue with the smell, but I really don't have an issue with it. I enjoy the smell. It keeps my makeup on all day, and I never have an issue with touch-up. You're just gonna get some powder and put it on the cap of the packaging, and then you're gonna dip it in. You're gonna get powder on. You're gonna kind of tap it off. Then you want to blow. You don't want to get too much product. You can always flip it to the other side just to make sure you don't have any creases here, and then you just place it right where you put your concealer. And you know, this is gonna set your concealer. This is gonna brighten the areas that you want to brighten. What I like to do is around my nose, I like to get a good amount. I don't blow it, and I just make a line. And what that does is, this is really gonna help you with your nose contour. It's gonna make your nose look super tiny in the long run, and that's what I really like to do. I really like to bake the sides of my nose. Makes my nose look really tiny. What I like to do is from the mouth, just kind of bring it out a little bit, like that. And then it still gives you that cut, like that you're gonna have that dimension there. You know, you're gonna have a snatched looking contour, but it's just not gonna look like too much. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna leave this all here while I do my eyeshadow. Just so that when I do my eyeshadow, it can bake. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about eyeshadow falling under my eyes because I'm just gonna dust it right off with the powder. The palette that I'm using today is the Jaclyn Hill palette. I love her so much. I've been watching her for a really long time. I thought it was gonna be way more pigmented, but the trick is that it is pigmented. You just have to pack the shadow on, and then, you know, you go about blending, but it doesn't require as much blending as other eyeshadows do, and I think that's what I was doing. I was just like over blending just because I was so used to just going ham on the blending. To start off with your eyeshadow, what you want to do is you can use an eyeshadow primer or a concealer. I like to use a concealer. The reason why I like to use concealer as a primer is just because it really gives you a blank canvas, and you know, you can cover up any, like, you can see my veins and my pigmentations and stuff like that. It'll just cover it right up. Don't know how to pronounce this brand, but this is what it says. I'm guessing it's obviously not in English. I don't mean to offend anyone, but I am just not good with languages and I cannot pronounce that. But I do know where I got it from. It's an illuminator brush. I got it from my Ipsy subscription. And what I like to do is I like to use it to apply my concealer to my eyes. I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna zoom in the camera just so that you guys can get a better look as to what I'm doing on my eyes. Now that we're all up close and personal, first let me just explain that I don't set the concealer. Just because I want the eyeshadow to really grip on there. The brush that I'm gonna go in with is the Scone Luxe Pro Blending Brush. Whew, that's a tongue twister. The first thing that you wanna do when you do your eyeshadow is find a transition shade that suits your skin tone. So what I usually like to do is I like to go with a medium tone brown just to dust basically almost all over my eye, but I like to focus it in the crease area. And that's just like gonna be a transition shade to like all the other colors that I'm gonna put on my eye. The first shade that I'm gonna go in with is going to be Pukey from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. And this is gonna work as like a transition shade for me. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to pop that onto the outer corner of my eye. That's usually like where I start applying any eyeshadow, and then I kind of just work it towards the center as I go. You want to blend it out in circular like motions. And then you can kind of just start doing windshield wiper motions just to, you know, slowly fade that towards the inner corner of your eye. Keep building to your liking, however dark you want it. Just same process, you're just gonna repeat it. Continue doing the same motions over and over just to blend it out. And there you go, you have your transition shade already on. So this is just gonna help everything blend together better. You're not gonna have any harsh lines or anything like that. The next shade that I'm gonna go in with is Buns from the same palette. Now this is where you wanna get a crease brush, which it has a little bit more shape to it. It's not necessarily pointy like a real detailed brush, but it's just a little bit flatter. It has a little bit more of a flat shape to it, but it, you know, it still fluffs up for some nice blending. And this brush is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH33. Okay, right here. the JH33. Like I said, I'm gonna go in with the shade Buns. You know, this you're gonna want to be more precise. You're gonna really want to focus it underneath that color that we placed earlier, and you're gonna want to pack that on. You're gonna do the same brush techniques that I showed you earlier. You're gonna do circular motions, and you want to use a light hand. All right, and then kind of bring it towards the center, bring it back out, windshield wiper motions for that seamless blend. The trick to this brown smoky eye that I'm doing is basically just layering the browns, and you want to go darker and darker every time, and you want to put your colors down from lightest to darkest, and you really want to focus most of the eyeshadows to the outer corner of your eye. The next color that I'm going to be going in with, the color Chip from the same Jaclyn Hill palette. And now this is where you want to get that nice detailed brush. This is the Luxie 243 Precision Blending Brush. So now you're going to pick up Chip. Don't forget to dust off the excess. You don't want that fallout like everywhere. And then you're just going to focus that right here, very low, right? You want it to be underneath the crease. That's where you want all of your darkest color. You really want to focus that, you know, low. The shade does have a lot of fallout. Don't worry about it. That's why we put the setting powder underneath, so that we can just dust that right off. Once you have the color there, you don't want to use the same brush that you were just using to blend it out, just because the color is dark and you don't want to bring that up any higher. You want to kind of keep it where it's at. So what I like to do is I like to go in with the previous brush that I was using, which was the JH33. And you're going to go back in with the previous color that you used, the color Buns. You're going to pick up Buns, dust off excess, and you're going to go and you're going to go right in between those, the darker shade and the lighter shades, and you're just going to blend that right out. You're going to apply very little pressure, because you don't want to move anything around too much. You just want to lightly blend it out. Then you're just gonna repeat that process until you get the darkness that you want to have. What I like to do is I like to add, you know, a darker gold shimmer, and then go in with the center with a lighter and brighter shimmer, just to like add that real nice sparkle right in the center of the eye. So what you're gonna need for this is you're gonna need a flat brush, just a regular flat eyeshadow brush. You could just use any flat eyeshadow brush. This is just some like random set that I found on Amazon. I'm gonna go in with the shade Queen, and you're gonna want to really pack that shimmer on your brush, just like that. And you're gonna want to go in with your setting spray, any setting spray that you have. And then you're just going to apply that. You don't want to bring it all the way to the outer edge, because you want all those rich colors that we put down to really stand out there towards the outer corners. You're gonna want to go around 3/4 of the way from the inner corner to the outer corner. Just like that. And then you're just gonna want to go in with a lighter color, like a lighter shimmer. I'm gonna go in with Beam. I'm gonna go in with Beam from the same palette, and I'm just gonna use the other side of the brush, the side of the brush that I didn't use. You can do that, you know, just to save yourself from using another brush. Get some nice amount of pigment on there. And then you're just gonna apply Beam right in the center of your lid. Pick up that other shimmer that we put, the first shimmer that we put down, pick that up, which is the shade Queen. And you're just gonna kind of blend those two together. Okay, time to dust off the excess under your eye. I like to use something that is a little pointed and fluffy. You can really use any brush with no product on it. You already have your powder there, which is basically just gonna dust the eyeshadow that fell right off. But what I like to do is just to reassure myself that it's not gonna get stuck to my foundation, I like to pick up a little bit more of powder, dust off that excess, and just sweep all that away, all of that fallout away. And there you go, it's gone. I'm gonna use the JH40 for my under eye. I'm gonna go in with the colored chip. You're gonna place this brush right there on the outer corner just to blend with the top portion of your eye look. You don't want to apply too much product because then it just gets messy. Nobody wants to look like a raccoon. You're just gonna blend that right there. You're gonna bring it around halfway. You don't want to bring it in too much. You don't want to close out your eye. And that's just gonna blend the bottom to the top, make it look very seamless. And that's it. The eye looks done. I'm gonna be right back and I'm gonna do my other eye off of camera. So stay tuned to see the rest of the look. I did my other eye off of camera and I dusted off the powder. Now, as you can see, you see this white cast that the powder has given my foundation. The trick to that is I like to take a colored powder. Now, you could take any colored foundation powder that you have. It really doesn't matter, whichever powder you have to your liking. I really like the Maybelline powders, so that's what I'm gonna be going in with today. Now your next step is gonna be bronzing. Bronzing isn't contouring. A lot of people get that confused. I guess they kind of just think that bronzing is contouring. Like, you don't have to contour all the time. I guess contour is like when you're trying to go for that like really snatched look. You want to raise the cheekbones, you want to shrink your nose, you want to make your forehead look smaller. I mean, I already have a fairly small forehead, so I usually just bronze my forehead. I don't contour it, but I really like to contour my neck area, you know, because I got this double chin right here that I just like to snatch. So I like to bronze first and then contour, and then I kind of just take the brush that I use for bronzing just to blend everything together. So that's what I'm gonna do today. The bronzer that I like to use is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. I'm picking up the JH02 by Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. So I'm gonna pick that up. And just start bronzing. Now you would just want to go back and forth, but you kind of want to add like a circular motion to it. So this is the motion that you want to go for here. You don't want to bring it down too low. You don't want to bring it too high. You kind of want to go from right here, like right where your ear kind of starts, and just bring it straight down. You want to get under your chin. You always want your neck to be darker. Just from the natural light, you're always going to have a shadow under. So, you know, you just want to bring that shadow back in there. After you do that, you're going to want to go in with your contour. I'm using the Anastasia Contour Kit, light to medium. This is what I'm using right now. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which it's not the warmest and it's not the coolest. It's kind of like in the middle. So that's the shade.
That's the shade.
That's the shade that I'm gonna go in with. I'm gonna pick that up with my Morphe M143. Now, this is great for contouring, especially for beginners, just because you don't have to do anything. All you literally have to do is just put it right where the contour goes and just move your brush back and forth. The shape of the brush does the work for you. And you're gonna go from right here, where the ear kind of starts. And you don't wanna bring it too low, so just focus the product right there. And you're just gonna rub it back and forth. After you finish doing that, I really like to cut right under my chin. And like, I want that to be like an actual shadow. So I'm gonna mix the original color that I picked up and I'm gonna kind of go in with this cooler toned color. So you're gonna wanna pick up the brush that you used for your bronzer and you're just gonna go in and just really blend that out. Now for my favorite part. What I'm going to do is my nose contour. So now I'm gonna go in with a similar brush to the small Luxie detailed brush that I went in with earlier. This is the Luxie 231. For nose contour, I'm gonna pick up the same color that I went in with for my cheeks for contour. I'm gonna pick that up. I'm gonna pick up very little bit. You don't wanna go too harsh on the nose. I know it's addicting and you just wanna keep contouring your nose until it's microscopic. But, you know, less is more here. So you're gonna wanna pick it up, be very light-handed. You're gonna wanna go along the sides of your nose and kind of just, I like to go right here on the tip. It like lifts it up. And there we have it. Just to soften that up, I'm gonna pick up that big old powder brush, the JH01, and I'm just gonna soften that up very lightly. Just kind of blend that all together. Don't want anything too harsh. Next is blush. You can really use any blush. I'm just gonna go in with this really old blush that I had since high school. This has stuck with me for a minute. This is the CoverGirl Classic Color Blush in the shade 540 Rose Silk. And it's very light, it's pinky, it's shimmery, it's not overly pigmented or anything like that, so you can't like go crazy with it. That's what I like about it, because if you leave it up to me, I'll go crazy with the blush. I like to focus my blush right here, just right at the apples. A lot of people like to bring it back here. I just don't think that suits my face shape. It's, you know, it's the whole thing about makeup. You know your face, you do you, girl. You do whatever makes you feel beautiful. Now, this is around where I like to do my setting spray, because I just don't like the mess of the mascara and the eyeliner getting wet. You want to like really set your base and make sure that that's in place. If you have your eyeliner, your mascara, your lashes on, you just don't want to wet that. So this is around the time where you want to set your face. You take your favorite setting spray, Urban Decay setting spray, Fix Plus, whatever you like, If you want something more hydrating, something more matte, there's 1,000 setting sprays that you can choose from. Me personally, I just make my own concoction, so that's what I'm going to be using today. See, that's what setting spray does. It kind of just brings the life back into your skin. It takes away the powderiness. It kind of makes your skin look like skin again. Now for highlighting, you can skip this step or you can highlight to the gods, whatever you prefer. I like to do like an in-between because I used to highlight like crazy and I'm kind of like over it. So I'm just gonna keep it pretty simple. For highlight, I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette. I'm gonna go in with Azores right here, which is like a yellowy gold shade. You're gonna wanna highlight your cheekbones just like that, and also bring it down the bridge of the nose. Really make that nose shine. Maybe get a little bit on top of the forehead, the Cupid's bow, and I don't like to highlight my chin just because I don't want my chin to be the center of attention. You know, you want to highlight where you want people to look, you know, the eyes, the lips, you know, the center of the face. Okay, I'm gonna do my mascara and eyelashes off of camera. By the way, you don't have to do eyelashes to have a look like this. You can simply just put on mascara if you have long, beautiful, luscious lashes and, you know, call it a day, and I'll be right back to finish up. I did my lashes off of camera. I'm feeling myself again. Now for lips. This is what's great about a brown smoky eye. You can do any lip that suits you. You know, a beautiful bright red would suit this look beautifully. A nude with some gloss. I'm gonna go in with kind of like a pinky brown orangey color right here. This is the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Miami Fever. Before I go in with that, I'm gonna use, obviously, a lip liner just to really make my lips look plump and full. You can use any lip liner. I'm going in with the Tartiest Tarte Lip Liner. And then I'm gonna go in with my Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in Miami Fever. Yeah, so that's about it for this look. It's a beautiful brown smoky eye with shimmer on the lid, nice bold lip, and I'm gonna be right back with the finished look. You made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell just so that you can get notified every single time I make a new upload. See you next time.